What is up, everybody? Welcome to Surviving Rocklahoma. I am your host with the locks that rocks, Adam Richmond, your host of the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. And we are so excited to have you all this week as the gremlins once again take hold of the computer. There we go. So I see you folks jumping in on the comments. How is everybody doing? Let me know what your St. Patrick's Day plans are for tomorrow, or have you already begun in the St. Patty's Day festivities, looking for that pot of gold, but ended up in the porcelain throne. We all know how that goes, drinking that green beer. We got a big show for you guys tonight. We had a guest, but unfortunately, stuff happens, life happens. So we are instead going to continue our intended coverage of the festival that we're going to be attending this weekend. We are also going to be breaking out the ROK Report to let you know what is going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks to couple of months. And we are also going to be featuring a couple of tracks from some local artists, including one that is going to be playing a certain therapeutic festival this Memorial Day weekend that I'll be hosting at Post Oak Lodge. I'm talking about Beggars Whisky. We're also going to be giving you a taste of that festival that's going to be rounding out the year, not Rocklahoma, a couple of weeks after that, for our rock community family reunion down in Stigler, Oklahoma at Lake John Wells. I'm talking about Rock the Equinox. We are going to be giving a taste of that in Waking the Sleeper here later on in the show. Let me know how we are sounding, folks. I see Chris in the comments. He says, good evening, y'all. Cheers. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. What's up, Ed? What up, Chris? No plans, just going to relax. You know what? Me too. It's going to school night, but it is still spring break. Taking the kids to Atoka, the Christmas tree guy says. Lori, Badass Brass, is in the comments. Says she got some physical therapy. You know what, folks? Before we go ahead and get into the show, what do you say we go ahead and pay some bills around here? Let's give a shout out to our sponsors who we appreciate so much for powering the show. First up is DEB Concerts, who answers the question, what do you want to do with your life? I want to rock! And rock he will be doing this year at Rocklahoma for their 20th year. And DEB Concerts will be having some locals there, some legends, and some national acts as well inside the Roadhouse. And we can't wait to see what all else is going to be going on this year at Rocklahoma. Speaking of Rocklahoma, another Rocklahoma partner is proud to help power the podcast. Thank you so much to Britt and the Pooh crew for all that you do and putting up with all of our crap at Rocklahoma and Born and Raised. And he will also be at Music is Medicine Festival Memorial Day weekend. We are so glad to have At Your Service Rentals being part of that festival. You don't have to be like that guy over there looking for a place to go. What are you doing over there?
Dinner was full!
Didn't call At Your Service Rentals. AtYourServiceRentals.com. We also want to give a shout out to the Rocklahoma Bitches, who are back as Rocklahoma's newest partners. Last year they debuted the Rocklahoma Late Nights After Party series, and they have been also known to do some philanthropic work and charitable work as they are participated in those guitar auctions, not to mention donating one of the guitars that we give away as the grand prize of the Rocklahoma scavenger hunt, guitars that we get signed by all of the artists that we interact with at Rocklahoma and Born and Raised music festivals, and we will be housing those at our radio booth at not just Rocklahoma, but Born and Raised Country Music Festival as well. We are so excited and can't wait to make our return to Radio Row. Thank you so much for keeping the community hopping. Thank you so much to the Rocklahoma bitches. Speaking of partners, we want to give a huge shout out to our proud partner. I'm talking about photography by Angel Lee, who has been covering Rocklahoma and other music festivals and events for going on 5 years. She's been with us at Surviving Rocklahoma. And you know what? Speaking of, she was with us last year for the Terps And Chains Festival. Let me find that one. We were out there. And yes, that was last year. We were out aside Rockavet, and we will be back. I will be back out there this year without the hair, unfortunately. The hair is going to be gone. That is a thing of the past now. But yes, I can't wait to go and kick off festival season with all of those hippies, the terp enthusiasts, as well as the disc golf enthusiasts. We thank you so much to Photography by Angel Lee. Remember, folks, if you need photo shoots or you bands need some great band shots, make sure you holler at Photography by Angel Lee. We also, you know what, Angel is not only our proud partner, but she's also a proud veteran. And speaking of veterans, we are so proud to be continue our work alongside ROK Vet, and we are also glad to be participating in the first ever Music is Medicine Festival. We will be talking about those individual set times here a little bit later in the show, but we are so glad to be hosting that event at Post Oak Lodge, and that's another thing I am so excited about, going out to Terps and Chains this weekend, because I get to scout and get another look at the Post Oak Lodge and Retreat, where Music is Medicine Festival will be taking place Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much to Rockavet and everything you do in putting this festival together, because remember, folks, music is medicine. We also want to thank the folks at the Big Old Bus. You know, this year, the Big Old Bus has been the Liquor Daddy and Liquor Mama of Pryor Liquor Wines and Spirits is now keeping the Big Old Bus going. And this year, the festivities have been announced, including free food on Thursday with Rocklahoma's own George Washington. Also a stage performance by Cat West and Oddities and Curiosities by Chris Warner on Friday. Saturday, their Luau Night, sponsored by Farrell Island. And Sunday, their annual wet t-shirt contest with cash prizes. And they've also got other adult-themed events throughout the weekend. Make sure that you check everything out at the big old bus. Oh, I guess I could have shown you rather than just looking. Yeah, but amazing flyer there. You know what, folks? We speaking of the Lucky Daddy and oh wait, before we do that, remember, folks, we do have merch available now. So if you would like to rock the podcast that rocks you all year long, well, head on over to Tannenbaum Graphics. We you know what? And we also want to say how proud we are of Tannenbaum Graphics and all of those new proud sponsors and partners as he keeps the campgrounds looking absolutely epic with those logos and merch. Speaking of merch, you can click on the Visit Your Printify shop and you can find the official Surviving Rocklahoma merchandise right there for you to be able to get your podcast wear. We got everything from our signature series t-shirts, our colorized logo, and you can even get your limited edition official Camp Mardi Gras merch as well with our new 2026 design. Thank you so much to Tannenbaum. Remember, folks, if you are looking to take your brand to the next level, don't go with just anybody. Let your brand get Tannenbaumed, and you get that merch. It's like Christmas every time you open the box. So we also, folks, we want to, with that being said, on behalf of the Liquor Daddy of Pryor, Oklahoma, and all of the folks at Pryor Liquor, Wines, and Spirits, and all of our other proud sponsors, let's go ahead and crack one open, y'all. Cheers, everybody. All right. You know, I always got to come back to my good old tried and true Yellow Bellies. What are you guys sipping on or enjoying this evening while you are tuning into the podcast? Let us know there in the comments. You know what? We're talking a little bit as we kicked off the show about tomorrow night is St. Patrick's Day, and all of you guys are going to be out there drinking that green beer. But remember, folks, if you are going to be out and you are going to be celebrating or just looking for an excuse to get out in the middle of the week, please make sure that you are drinking responsibly. Get you a driver. DDs are absolutely easy to come by. Uber is available in just about every town you live in. And even if it's not, call a buddy and say, hey, I'm going out later. Would you mind picking me up? We do not want to be picking you up from the trunk tank. So with that, folks, being said, folks, make sure that you guys are drinking responsibly. Now, with that being said, tell me, what is your tradition? You know, I know some folks, they like to, anytime there's a holiday, they like to go out and celebrate the festivities. Do you have any favorite drinks that you guys drink on St. Patrick's Day? I saw a thing on the news where in Chicago, they have this thing called Borg, and it's essentially like your favorite, we'll just say, clear alcohol. I think vodka was the choice, and maybe like some Kool-Aid or something in there, but they were like dumping them out by the gallon. People were mixing up these gallon jugs of this drink called Borg. I thought it was like Cyborg, but you know what? It sounds good to me. But I think I am enjoying St. Patrick's Day in the wrong place. You guys let me know if you guys have ever tried those. Otherwise, what are you guys planning on drinking on for St. Patrick's Day? You know, in addition to St. Patrick's Day, it is also spring break. So I don't know about y'all, but my kids are out. So we are going to be looking for something to do this week as a family, as the kids are getting older and they will be leaving the nest before too long. So it's time for us all to get together and find something to do. And I tell you, one of the fun things that you can do this weekend is the Terps and Chains Festival. Now, this thing is absolutely awesome. Is so laid back. You go out there, it's a camping spot, so you just go find you a spot and set up your tent, set up your RV. It is primitive camping out there though, folks, so there is not any electricity and there's not any water hookups or anything like that. So if you're going to be camping this weekend, you're going to make sure that you're going to bring in your water and bring those generators as well. So don't go show, and you're going to need those generators if you can't handle the warm temperatures. I know it was freaking cold today, but from what I'm seeing on Facebook through the meteorologist posts as well as the weather website I went to, it's going to be like 94 this weekend. It's going to be hot, y'all. But I guess it's Oklahoma bipolar weather. It is going to be a great weekend, though. Let me see if I can pull up the website right now. There we go. So guys, it is going to be a low dough festival. It's only $40, and you can get into this festival that does not include the disc golf tournament that will be going on that weekend, but includes 2 nights of camping. So that's your ticket and camping for the 20th and the 21st, and full access to music and vendors and the property on this weekend. And the music lineup, it looks like Terps and Chains, disc golf, live music, camping, Oklahoma's best cannabis brands, and dank food trucks. Now, it looks like Eric and Erica French, Petty Fox, Joe Mack, Safety Meeting Bluegrass, Casey West, the Steppers, 65 North Pickers, the Spook Lights, and Air Show will be your musical features. So it is not going to be a heavy rock festival, but it is going to be very laid back, very mellow, very chill. I mean, what do you expect amongst disc golf and cannabis enthusiasts? But I do tell you, it is an absolutely beautiful property. Here's a little bit looking at the festival map and schedule. 9 a.m. Friday, you can check in and load in, get your wristbands, and settle into your camped spot. 11 a.m., the disc golf begins. There's also some clinics. The vendor village will open up at 5 p.m. That's where all of the vendors will be set up. Surviving Rocklahoma will also be set up this weekend at the festival. You can get some Surviving Rocklahoma t-shirts, and you even get to meet my family. My wife's going to be out there selling some of her wares. I am so proud of her hobby. These are just some she made for me, because you know what? Even a guy's got to have a little bit of bling, high quality beads and stuff. She's going to be out there helping us keep the vendor booth going all weekend long. And ladies, you are definitely going to want to stop by the vendor booth this weekend so that you can check out those fine accessories. And do me a favor, bring your checkbook or card. We take Square, Cash App will be fine, cash, all that good stuff. Help me. Other than that, folks, we will also be there on Saturday as well. Looks like there's going to be a disc golf tournament. And as far as music, looks like there's even going to be some food trucks will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here is a peek at the festival map. And it is an absolute beautiful property. I can't wait. Who all are we going to be seeing out there? Let us know in the comments if you are going to be attending the Terps and Chains Festival this weekend. I do believe Rockavet's going to be out there as well. We're going to be set up right next to them at the festival. And you know what, folks? I think I have been flapping my gums enough. I think it's time for us to go ahead and play us some tunes. What do you say? You know, speaking of Rockavet, there is an event coming up that I've kind of been talking about constantly for the last couple of months. And Music is Medicine Festival will be taking place at the same venue that we're going to be at this weekend, Post Oak Lodge. And one of the bands that are going to be playing that event is this one that we're going to be playing for you right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is Beggars Whisky.
Glass on the floor, burn my bridges, don't need them anymore. Wear my flaws like a second skin, a one-man war I'll never win. Whiskey veins and nicotine breath, another step closer to my own death. The king of chaos, a bitter crown, build it up just to tear it down. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The fire in my hands, the fate unfurls. When it's all said and done, there's no one to blame. Just me and the ashes from my flames. But I laughed in your face. I'm the storm, I'm the ball, I'm the wasted space. Poison my roots, salt the ground. Watch my life burn without a sound. I'm become death, the destroyer of worlds. The fire in my hands, the fate unfurls. When it's all said and done, there's no one to blame. Just me and the ashes from my flames. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. Your shadow staring back, barely me. Light my fuse just to feel alive. Ghost of a man didn't survive. I'm become death, the destroyer of worlds. The fire in my hands, the fate unfurls. When it's all said and done, there's no one to blame. Just me and the ashes from my flames.
ladies and gentlemen, Beggars Whisky. Yes. That was Destroyer of Worlds. You can see so many bands here in a couple of months, and it'll all start with that band. I'm talking about Beggars Whisky. Memorial Day weekend, they will be kicking off the festival. They will be at the bus stage. That's right, the bus stage. The big old bus will be at Music is Medicine Festival at Post Oak Lodge Memorial Day weekend. Tickets are on sale now, folks. Get your tickets now. And it all is going to start on the big old bus stage. Beggars Whisky will be starting Friday at 1 p.m. And we have our set times posted. Once again, man, look at all of these bands you guys are going to be getting for $50. $50, y'all. $50. And you can get all of these bands. Weekend pass with camping, $50. Or maybe you can't get off the whole weekend.
Giggity.
Shut up. Maybe you can't attend both days. Well, $30 and you can go a single day and you can still see all of these bands, folks, including, so many of these bands are folks that we regularly feature here on the show. Obviously, we're going to, our regulars, Apples of Eden, Oklahoma Blood was here a couple of weeks ago. A Faustian Bargain. Shout out to Alejandro Farinas. Crimson Love, Still Knocked, 7 Foot Monkey, Dime Store Riot will be your headliner on Friday. Nova, who made their debut last year at our 10 Years of Mayhem event at the Shrine, they will be playing at 1 p.m. on the Rockevet stage Saturday. Also, 13 Minutes, Perseus, Aquafire, Stonebreed. We interviewed Stonebreed several years ago at Rocklahoma, and they are also going to be playing, I believe, Rock the River and Rock the Equinox, man. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Stonebreed coming up here in the next, let's see if they were on there. I'm pretty sure they were. You know what? We also are going to be seeing Scotty Austin, the original singer of Saving Abel, and our good friends Circus, who are just making huge waves in the local metal scene. Can't wait till Memorial Day weekend, y'all. Let's see, where were we? Now, that does take me to the ROK Report. Now, we were talking a bit about, this weekend, Terps and Chains, and then last episode, we were joined by a legendary singer in the metal scene. I mean, going all the way back to the 80s. Brian Zimmerman of Atrophy was on the show a week or two ago, and 2 Minutes to Tulsa is next week on the 27th and 28th, and Atrophy will be playing on the 28th. Shout out to our good friends, She Hates Me Not, who will also be playing that festival along with several others. April 8th, we have Stitched Up Heart will be at the Vanguard, and shout out to Alejandro and Brax and Between the Broken, as they'll be open up for Stitched Up Heart on the 8th. Now, you folks ought to come to Tahlequah this April, because my favorite restaurant not just here in town, I'd say just about anywhere. If you like Cajun food, you have got to come to Tahlequah on the 17th and 18th for the 8th crawfish boil here in town. It is an absolute blast. They have music all weekend long. They've also have crawfish boils going all weekend long. Fresh crawfish from the Gulf. They have it shipped up, and these guys, even when I went to New Orleans a couple of years ago, shout out to Christy for making that happen. You can't be Camp Mardi Gras and not have been to New Orleans, and it was better than anything I had in New Orleans. I absolutely love this restaurant. Huge shout out to Lenny Bros here in Tahlequah. They'll be having their crawfish festival on the 17th. And then Memorial Day weekend, of course, is Music is Medicine Festival here in Tulsa at Post Oak Lodge. And a couple of weeks after that, we've got the fundraising event to help support ROK the Equinox. It'll be headlined by Storage 24. Also playing will be We Are Araya, Stanley's Revenge, Copper Still, and 7 Foot Monkey. And we will be hosting, and there will also be going an auction going. Shout out to Daniel for putting that together as well, Daniel Whitmus. After that, of course, we've got Rocklahoma, and I know, I've had time to think about it. We talk a lot about Rocklahoma. I mean, this is what the podcast is named after. And the more I look at that lineup, the more I absolutely love it. And I am getting absolutely stoked to see Insane Cloud Posse, and not to mention Ugly Kid Joe that came on the radio the other day, and it dawned on me I'm going to be seeing them here at Rocklahoma for their 20th year. And once again, folks, this is all self-produced. This is all done here by the family and the partners and it is absolutely awesome to see what they're able to pull off. And the bands that are playing also have a very soft spot. I have a soft spot in my heart for all of these bands that are headlining. Godsmack always puts on an amazing show, and you just can't go wrong with Slayer, right? Going into the comments, Camp Asylum will be there putting on an after party and handing out some bracelets, especially for Music is Medicine. That's awesome, Heather. Can't wait to see you there. I see Chris is excited about Cypress Hill. The Cloud is going to be epic, yes. And I'm retired and licensed, so I'm going to be in the middle of that crowd. Trust me. Buck Cherry, I'm going to be singing along with that one. Suicidal Tendencies will be absolutely rocking the place, and I think just about everybody at the festival is going to be drilling over Pretty Reckless, but I digress on that one. But you know what, folks? We've got a lot of festivals coming up this year, and we've been featuring a lot of the bands that are going to be playing these festivals as regularly as we can. Now, we're going to feature this band last week whenever we had the announcement of the ROK the Equinox lineup. And look at that lineup, by the way. Once again, Friday we've got Shotgun Funeral, Stanley's Revenge, 9 Left Dead, Sin and Scar, Oklahoma Blood, 7 Foot Monkey, Dime Store Riot, Redefined, Waking the Sleeper on Friday. On Saturday, we've got The Struggle, The Stacy's, Stone Breed, The Stray Sons, Strength in Agony, Still Not, No One, Circus, She Hates Me Not, Stories Through Storms, and Left on Red. It is going to be an absolute awesome festival, and they're getting bigger and better every year, folks. And last year, I gotta say, that's got to be one of the biggest Rock the Equinoxes that I've ever seen. And even though we had a hiccup last year, that's what happens when you're evolving and you kind of start outgrowing the flower bed that you're used to. So now they're having to expand in what area they use, and so we're going to have camping more out on the outskirts, and then we'll have more room for activities in the uphill areas. So there's going to be so much room for activities. And bring your whole family, folks. This is going to be a free event, and it's an all ages show. I'm going to be bringing my kayaks, so I'm going to be out there on the lake. There's going to be the wake and bake on the lake. And last year there was some pretty freaking cool slip and slides going down at the base of that big hill down at Lake John Wells in Stigler, Oklahoma. It's absolutely awesome, folks. Now, it is $5 to camp, but the festival is free. There's going to be food trucks. We'll have a couple of bounce houses down there, and our vendor booth is going to be there as well, where you can get those shirts and some of Char's charms. Now, I think since we're talking about it so much and we didn't get to feature the band last week, I think we need to go ahead and feature one of your headliners of that event right here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Waking the Sleeper. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, waking the sleeper. Yes. That is fading. You don't have to wait until Rock the Equinox to see that band or to listen to that track. Make sure that you check them out on all of the streaming platforms anywhere you get your music. Make sure that you share the love, share your favorite tracks, tag them, follow them, and make sure that you add them to your Spotify playlists or anywhere that you get your streaming music. You know what, folks, if you would like your bands, if you'd like your music featured here on the show, it's easy. All you got to do is rock the box, y'all. Send me your EPKs. If you've got a high quality recording, you got a video, especially those lyric videos. I absolutely love them, and so do our audience here. You know what, studio audience, give it up, y'all, just to make sure we hear you guys. That's right. They're thirsty, folks. They're thirsty for that live music. All you got to do, shoot it to survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. And if you're going to be playing in the area, let us know where you're going to be at. Send those flyers our way. We'd love to get our crowd at your show so that we can support the local music scene. Now, fans, if you got out there and you just had the time of your life and you want to share a great story, shoot us an email as well. We'd love to hear your stories about the going-ons of the local festivals, the concerts, or maybe you just know one of the bands and one of their music, one of their songs hit different for you. Let us know. Rock the Box. Same to you veterans out there. We want to honor your service. We would love to show off the warriors. So you know what? Send us your service photos. Shoot us an email. Rock the Box. We'd love to share a photo as we honor our warriors. We also, folks, remember to like and subscribe to the page, especially YouTube, because Facebook no longer keeps the live streams on the Facebook page for more than like 30 days. So you have to, if you want to catch up and you want to see the past episodes, make sure you check us out on YouTube and make sure you smash that subscribe button while you're there. And let's see, folks. Now, before we thank our sponsors and sign off, we also want to make sure that we give a shout out to all of you fine folks who are sending those stars. Remember, folks, those stars are how we monetize the podcast. Because we play so much music on here, we can't really monetize the live stream. So when you guys send those stars, they're little pieces, little bits of cyber currency, and that's how we pay the hosting bills and everything else that the sponsors don't cover. Now, as a thank you, we take our top stars senders each week and we recognize our top stars senders as they compete in the Stars Wars. And each top sender each week has their name entered into a drawing, and we give away a random prize at the end of the month. So if you are the top sender, you're automatically entered into that drawing. Now, you can also subscribe to the Facebook page, $4.99, cancel anytime, and you can, that will automatically enter you for all drawings we do here on the show. And let's see, what else are we forgetting on there? Check out the Rock the Equinox 11 playlist Lori says that's a good mention right there. You know, I love those playlists, especially that's built around the local festivals. I mean, that's really the best way to find new music that you won't find anywhere. And you know what? We love our friends and fellow broadcasters in the radio world, but it is so hard to get your music featured on the radio. And that's what the beautiful part about doing this show, these types of podcasts, because we can do whatever the hell we want, folks. I can say what I want. I can play any music I want as long as the bands send us that music and give us the permission to feature it right here, that we'll play it. So once again, folks, rock the box to have your music featured here on the show. And I think that does it for me. I have got to get some beauty sleep. We got to start packing and getting ready for Terps and Chains 2026 this weekend. Post Oak Lodge. Surviving Rocklahoma will be there right next to our good friends at ROK Event. We'll be there in the vendor booth. We can't wait to see you guys there. $40, 2 days of music, disc golf, and just lounging. The weather's going to be beautiful. Come on out and hang out with us. But until we see you next, remember to stay on the positive side of life. And until next time, rock on.